Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Deputy Chief Minister Patton says 563 kilometers of PMGSY road construction in Nagaland needs to be completed by March next year. Nagaland Congress asks government to keep in abeyance the nomination of advisory council to municipal and town councils. Nagaland Dobashi Association stresses on having permanent department for customs and traditions of Nagas. And Union Health Minister reviews vaccination progress with senior officials from Manipur, Meghalaya, Nagaland and Puducherry. As India achieved the milestone of vaccinating 100 crore people against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the people, doctors, nurses and others who made this possible. Even though the country has achieved this feat, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get vaccinated at the earliest and also help others to get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 and state helpline number 1800-345-0019. And now the news in detail. Nagaland Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton today informed that a 563-kilometre road construction in progress in all the assembly constituencies of the state under Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana (PMGSY) needs to be completed before March next year. Maintaining that it is required to get the sanction of new projects, Patton cautioned that those contractors failing to ensure the quality, specification and timely completion of the work would be blacklisted. He said this while inspecting the Akash Bridge, Kanjang Road under Meluri subdivision in Pek district. During the visit, Patton directed the department and the contractor to complete the project by March 2022. He also lauded the citizens of the area for their cooperation in executing the project without any hindrance and land ownership issues. Local MLA Dachu acknowledged the Deputy Chief Minister for reaching out to the corner of the state. Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee NPCC President K. Terrier today said that the state government should not implement its decision to nominate advisory council to the municipal and town councils in the state. Addressing media persons at Congress Bhavan in Kohima, Terrier said the November 18 notification of the state government should be kept in abeyance as the matter relating to Nagaland Municipal Act 2001 is pending before the Supreme Court. He said NPCC legal cell has decided to write to all the deputy commissioners and additional deputy commissioners having the urban local bodies in this connection. He said that the action of the government to nominate advisory council members instead of conducting election to the ULB is against the provisions of the Municipal Act. NPCC Working President Kriti Tenyo said that a special leave petition and civil appeal was filed by Naga Mothers Association (NMA) before the Supreme Court on conduct of the ULP elections with 33% women reservation, but was withdrawn by them. However, he said another application has been filed by People's Union for Civil Liberties as petitioner in place of NMA, and the matter is still pending before the Supreme Court. Nagaland Dobashi Association (NDBA) has stressed on the need to have a permanent department to foresee the affairs of the Nagas as per the customs and traditions. NDBA said this during a press conference held today in Kohima. They said having customary courts in Nagaland means safeguarding the rights, culture and traditions of the Nagas. Expressing that Nagaland state was an offshoot of the very foundation of unique customs and history of the Nagas, the idea of having unique courts should be a priority for policymakers to preserve the age-old practices of the Nagas. They said a permanent department to foresee the affairs of the Nagas as per the customs and traditions is felt altogether more important for the state. NDBA said the customary codes, which has evolved out to the continued practices of accepted behavior and standards within communities, stands as an institution between the village courts, session courts and high court. They fear that in the absence of customary courts, the essence embedded in the customs and traditions of the Nagas would steadily vanish, as cases which are not tried by the village courts would directly end up in the Session Court and High Court. Labour and Employment Minister Bhupender Yadav today flagged off the first ever All India Domestic Workers Survey. The survey will cover 742 districts in 37 states and union territories. The objective is to estimate the number and proportion of domestic workers at a national and state level and find out household estimates of live-in and live-out domestic workers. Besides, it will also estimate the average number of domestic workers engaged by different types of households. The minister said the survey will help the government understand the significant issues and chart evidence-based data-driven policies. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on a YouTube channel, AIR News Kohima. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya today chaired a review meeting on vaccination progress with senior officials from states of Manipur, Meghalaya, Nagaland and UT of Puducherry. These states and union territory have been reporting low vaccination coverage. Reiterating that vaccination is the most potent weapon in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic, Mandaviya urged the states and union territory to innovatively rope in all stakeholders, including NGOs, faith-based organizations, religious leaders, community influencers, and other partners to speed up vaccination coverage. He asked them to address issues of hesitancy, misinformation, and superstition. He urged the states to deploy all state government officials one day each week to visit each eligible household to motivate and mobilize them towards full vaccination. Nagaland today reported 10 new positive cases of COVID-19, taking the tally to 32,060. 9 positive cases were detected from Dimapur and 1 in Kohima. The state also recorded 6 recoveries, taking the recovered cases to 30,179. Demise of a positive patient in Dimapur increased the death toll to 680. Currently, there are 128 active COVID-19 cases in the state. President Ramnath Kovind today presented gallantry awards and distinguished service decorations to the armed forces personnel for displaying indomitable courage and extreme devotion to duty at the defense investiture ceremony held in Rashtra Padipavan. Sapper Prakash Jatav from Corps of Engineers was accorded the second highest peacetime gallantry award, Kirti Chakra, posthumously for neutralizing terrorists in an operation in Jammu and Kashmir. Major Vibhuti Shankar Tondial accorded a Surya Chakra posthumously for his role in an operation where 5 terrorists were eliminated and 200 kilograms of explosive materials was recovered. Naik Subedar Sombir accorded Surya Chakra posthumously for killing an A category terrorist during an operation in Jammu and Kashmir. Group Captain Abhinandan Vardhaman, who shot down a Pakistani F-16 fighter aircraft in aerial combat, was honoured with Veer Chakra. Home Minister Amit Shah today paid glowing tributes to the innumerable tribal heroes who valiantly fought against the Britishers during the freedom movement. Shah was speaking after laying the foundation stone through video conference for setting up of the Rani Kaidinlu Tribal Freedom Fighters Museum at Luangkau village in Tamenglong district in Imphal East. The project has been sanctioned by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs at an estimated cost of 15 crore rupees. Shah said Rani Kaidinlu's contribution to the freedom movement cannot be forgotten. Singapore and India have reached an agreement on resumption of scheduled commercial passenger flights between the two countries. Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore said that Singapore's vaccinated travel lane with India will start on 29th of this month with 6 designated flights daily from Chennai, Delhi and Mumbai. Applications for vaccinated travel buses, VTP, for short-term visitors and long-term pass holders from India started today. And now 20 news, here are main points again. Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton says 563 kilometers of PMGSY road construction in Nagaland needs to be completed by March next year. Nagaland Congress asks government to keep in abeyance the nomination of advisory council to the municipal and town councils. Nagaland Dobashi Association stresses on having permanent department for customs and traditions of the Nagas. And Union Health Minister reviews vaccination progress with senior officials from Manipur, Meghalaya, Nagaland and Puducherry. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.